My name is Rosanna Parati. I'm the chairman of the Political Science Department at Hofstra University. Young people are not used to being powerful. You're powerless in so many areas of your life, including in school. You have to perform in order to get that A. You don't have any control over it. The most control that you have, of course, is doing good work, but there's a certain element of powerlessness there. But in voting, you have a long time to prepare, getting together a coalition to get a candidate who's going to bring you certain consequences. Whenever I talk about the act of participating in voting, it's like whenever I talk about drinking or whenever I talk about taking drugs. It's a serious thing. It's a serious decision that you're doing, and you got to think about the consequences. In the case of voting, not the other two things, but voting, maybe we can satirize about it, we can have fun with it, but it's one of the most serious things you're going to do in your life. It's going to have consequences for the world. It's great that young people are always up to the minute, that you do get your news from Facebook and you're always looking for the next best thing. But I think that young people need to be more contemplative. And that is to say, there needs to be a time when, if you realize that you don't know anything about an issue or you'd like to know more about the election, you need to read something, separate yourself, and take time to try to understand. Because ultimately, to be an informed voter, you need to be informed about the issues. Take the time to read the things that people are preparing for you. It's all about, and I understand why, but it's all about getting the assignment done, getting the assignment done, getting the assignment done, because then we're going to have fun. But I think it's worthwhile, again, to set aside time to do that so that you actually can talk about it. I think that's what younger people are losing. And I don't think it necessarily has to take away from the really good thing that you have gained, which is being on top of things and being on top of the next best thing and knowing how to communicate things so that they're lively and interesting. I don't think you have to sacrifice that. What we know from studies in political science is that the higher the level of your formal education, the more likely you are to go out to vote. Take your education seriously. Value it. It's not something to throw away. It's not a credential to have. Just like you work on your body really hard so that you can be fit, you train your mind so that it can have some physical power. And the more you do that, the more likely it is that you're going to be a functioning member of the political community. You're going to have a say in the future. And the more likely you're going to be establishing a good foundation for the people that you leave behind.
Those initiatives would have taken much longer without the data to back that up.
You've got to transmit our culture. You've got to transmit this system. And so it's a big responsibility, take time and value it. Value your education. Spend as much time and be as serious about it as you can, because there will become a time when you can't afford to do it anymore and you're expected not to do it anymore, and then much will be expected of you. For that, you should be investing now.